Oh, I hate selling cheap cars, but I'm a sucker for buying cheap cars. I cannot help myself. When this is $600, when that is $1,200, and this is a trade-in, and this has 250,000 miles, is my favorite car, I can't resist, but I hate selling them to the public. It's so difficult. In part one, we bought this Nissan Altima 2012 for like $600 or $800. We bought this Toyota Sienna on trade for a Honda Element, and I also bought that. And what else is around here? I know. A $400 Jaguar X-Type with 180,000 miles. Now in part one, I showed you what I bought and what I paid for them. In part two, we're gonna go over what I paid for them. We're gonna fix the remaining inventory, and we're going to sell a couple of them and tell you what we made for profit on the 2 cars that we do sell in this video. Now, one of our first cars that we bought was a 2004 Nissan Altima, back when Nissan made a great car. That car, we paid $1,000 for it. I sold it, and I have been having just some headaches with customers, which I'll explain to you in a little bit. Now, we also sold the Dakota in the last video, so I'll tell you what we made for profit, and we are going to make that Jaguar mint, and this 250,000-mile Toyota Sienna needs some love. But I'm going to explain to you why this is my favorite car in the entire fleet. I'm also going to teach you some tips and tricks of the trade, how to maximize profits, how to make some money while buying and selling cars. So without any further delay, let's hop in my 400,000-mile GMC Yukon. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels. Let's get this video started. I showed this before, but check out the Jaguar keys. I always thought that was so cool. Now, back in the 2000s, this was actually a really cool high-end car. This is one of the first cars that I ever bought that was like luxury. I was buying Mazda 626s and Ford Tauruses, and this is basically a Ford Taurus, to be honest with you. But when I got this in green, it was like, hey, I'm moving up a little bit. How the heck do you open this thing? Shoot, I think the door handle's broken. We're gonna have to do this not the fun way. And a weird thing about the auctions, oh my goodness, if this thing doesn't start, I have to do that all again. The weird thing about the auctions is these get stolen. Like, the auctions would normally take these shift knobs off because for some reason people like to keep them as souvenirs. Oh my goodness, it fired right up. Do the windows work? Yes, yes, yes. I'm anticipating the AC not working, but at least we have windows. Let's take it back to my shop and hope it makes it. That does not sound good. That's either struts or ball joints or both. What front end noise is that coming from? A lot of clunking going on. Oh gosh. So I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I haven't tried the AC yet. I haven't tried the radio yet because I'm just trying to check out this car. It's smooth. It's not overheating. It's actually pretty quiet once it's on the road. Obviously there is some front end looseness, something loose in the front end, but it's shifting smoothly. It's quiet. I'm accelerating like pretty decently. Not braking incredibly well. I'm very cautious on the brakes, but I think I paid $600 for this car. Let's work that in junk, really. Oh my goodness. The AC is cold on this. Does the radio work? I don't hear anything yet. Let's find a station. I don't hear anything from the radio, although it is functioning, but the AC is very cold. Wow. All the windows work, and I am always cautious to try the sunroof. But the sunroof opens. Oh, this is why you don't try the sunroof. The sunroof opens. Oh, it closes too. Score. Sagging headliner. Wow, that's awesome.
A few days later.
So Nacho has been working on the Jaguar, and he's actually working on the Viper right now. He has some things he'd like to say about that Jaguar. He's cramped in the Viper. I think he's actually stuck. All right, take your time, uncramp yourself. We gotta get this car out of here. So Nacho, the Jaguar, you fixed the door handle. What was wrong with the door handle?
There was a piece inside of like the door itself. It was like a plastic piece. It had like a cover on it that held like the metal. Oh, okay. So like the throttle body on the Mustang. Yeah. So there's a cable that clips into the door handle, and then a plastic clip holds that cable in place. Was it that? Yeah. That's all it needed. So the cable pulled off because it was unclipped? Yeah. You put it back in, clipped it on, door handle works. Amazing. Yes. Amazing. The car looks brand new on the inside, but the trunk, remember can you explain what the trunk looked like and what it took? The trunk was horrible on that. When we first had gotten it, I'm guessing the last person tried fixing the old tire that was on it. Mm-hmm. So he had like a bunch of cans of like what do you call it? Like
fixed flat?
Yeah,
okay.
Like fixed flat. And I'm guessing all those cans sat there, and in the Florida heat, if you leave like any like can or whatever, it tends to like
expand
and expand. I'm guessing those exploded in the back, and they all just mixed, and it looked disgusting, and it smelled horrible.
What'd you do to clean it out?
I used the shop vac,
yeah,
and then I just used a bunch of chemicals and just wiped everything, made sure that it smelled good and it was clean. But that, whatever that mixture was, it almost made me throw up like 4 or 5 times. It was bad.
Is it still in the shop vac, or has that since been cleaned out? Oh, all right,
it's
great.
Cleaned out.
Cool. All right, well, thank you for doing it.
Yep.
My errand boy just showed up.
Here's the stuff you need for the knowledge.
Thank you very much. I also need a ride to the other shop. Can you give me a ride to pick up my Sienna? Cool. Yes. Thank you. Give me a minute. I'm gonna fill up my son's gas tank today thanks to Upside. Logan, you downloaded the Upside app on your phone, right?
Yeah.
And I can find where I'm going to get the most cash back on fuel or food in my area. Also, it gives me the fuel prices. So they're $3.90 at Mobile. We're only paying $3.77 at the Chevron. I'm gonna claim this cash back. Then all we have to do is use our credit card linked to our app to pump the fuel. You can use Upside with food and fuel as well. I get 34% cash back at Papa John's and a bunch of other restaurants.
What does cash back mean? Does it mean the money going back in your bank account?
Right now I have like $35 just from this month of spending that I would have spent otherwise that goes directly back into my Upside app and then have it sent right to my bank account. Or you can have it sent to you in gift cards. It is literally just free cash back. So Upside has given back over $1 billion to its users. You can download the free app by scanning this QR code or clicking the link in my description. And if you use promo code Flying Wheels, you can get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon you use on your first tank of gas. All right, Logan's dropping me off at the overflow lot. I have the Jaguar here. We are gonna take the Sienna to go repair the Jaguar tire. So behind this door and inside my durable trailer is this 2004 Jaguar X-Type. They originally had a blowout on the front left tire. That is in the trunk. The spare is brand new on there. We're gonna take the original wheel and have the tire replaced. Now, I told you I love this Toyota Sienna. One of the first cars we ever purchased at our Florida car lot dealership, whatever you want to call it, was a Honda Element. It was donated. I think I paid like $600 for it, $400, $500. And a person traded this Toyota Sienna and cash for the Honda Element, but it has 253,000 miles. But the thing fired right up instantly. I haven't used this in a few weeks and it started right up and the AC is cold. Now, I'm not gonna show you the detailing process. Nacho went right through this entire car and just shampooed all the seats, took them out. He even replaced both of these door handles, which I got on Amazon. So this door handle had a string on it. You pull it to open the door. That has been replaced. And the interior is mint. But the exterior, not so much. Apparently there's a common theme with gold Toyotas. The headlight's yellow. We did do a headlight correction. They still look yellow. And just the hood, the paint on the hood gets peppered. I'm not going to paint the hood. I'm not going to paint the bumper. This is as good as this 250,000 mile Toyota Sienna is going to look. Now, at the start of this video, I told you this is one of my favorite cars, not the Range Rover. I do love the 400,000 mile Yukon because it's 400,000 miles, but not any other vehicle. I love this one because I can throw bags of mulch in it, which I already have. I can throw a dirty, nasty, filthy Jaguar wheel in the back and not care. I can put my kids in it. I can crank the AC and be cold in a very reliable car. I don't care that it's an ugly minivan. It doesn't matter to me. I don't need fancy things. I don't need no gold chains and diamond rings. A 2004 Toyota Sienna that runs great and has 250,000 miles, I appreciate, and I love it for that reason. And it doesn't even smell bad. It smells great in here. I actually want to talk about tires and wheels. I try to provide as much value as I can to you in these videos. So I am not going to buy a brand new tire for a $400 Jaguar, and then I'm gonna have one brand new tire while I have 3 used tires. There are junkyards that have thousands of tires, many of which are the correct size for you. So just go to your local junkyard and see if you can source a single tire for probably $40. The only issue is that the junkyards near me don't mount and balance tires. So they'll give you a tire, but it's gonna cost you $25 to mount and balance. There are actually used tire shops. Now, I'm gonna say this the wrong way probably, and I'm sorry if I do. If you go into the lower income areas, there's most likely a used tire shop because because people aren't buying brand new tires. They're trying to save money on used tires. So find yourself a used tire shop, call them, say, hey, do you have this size? Which is what I just did. I first called the junkyard. They had it, but they don't mount and balance. I called a used tire shop. They had it, and they're gonna mount and balance it for $40 for me. So we're on our way in the Toyota Sienna to go get that done. And we'll throw the Jaguar wheel right in here. Done. 40 bucks. Doesn't get any easier than that. I didn't even get my hands dirty. These guys came right out to my car, got the wheel, did everything, and then put it back in my car for me. Never even got my hands dirty. Great success. I can't believe I just did a Borat voice, but I am very pleased with my $600 Jaguar. So let's take the kids to school day in the Jaguar. This is a darn good looking car, actually. So I got this shifter knob for $20 online. See how it just...
Yeah, just...
Hang on a second, it's supposed to unscrew. It just screws right on, and it comes with adapters. So you can fit the adapter to the old screw and then throw the new knob on. And I think that matches the wood grain pretty darn well, which is pretty cool looking, I think. So this is going to sit here in our storage next to the Mustang. The Altima is sold, so we are going to take the Altima to the car wash and then to the DMV to get registered. So welcome to my new office. We sold the Altima last week, and I registered it at the DMV. I sat at the DMV for over an hour. The customers that purchased it, they left a deposit. I filled out all the paperwork, the title, the bill of sale, and then met them. They paid me in full, went to the DMV with them because they Ubered here, and then registered their car, brought them back here to pick up their Altima, put their plates on it. All was good. Easy. They loved it. They called me a week later and just like so disappointed. Like their expectations on a 22-year-old car were so much higher than they really were. Now, what's disappointing is I was so happy with that vehicle. Like out of all of them, that's the one I loved the most. I wanted to give it to my son, and they were like unhappy about little things. Like it's a used car, and I think it was, what did we sell it for? $2,800 or $3,000 or something, like cheap. It was a really, really cheap, great running, rust-free, low mileage car, and they just wanted it to be perfect and new, and they blamed me. You didn't tell me that whatever. Example, I don't know, I'll make a whole video about it, but I had to ask him to stop texting me and harassing me because he was calling me over and every day. He's called me 3 days in a row, like with different questions and saying, I didn't tell him about this, or I didn't tell him about that, or like little things. And this job is tough sometimes. It's really taxing. It's like mentally exhausting because even the car that I think is great, someone is still unhappy about. And that's why I forgot. That's why I quit this business 2 years ago, because I was just so sick of expectations of customers. They got really difficult to work with. Their expectations were unrealistic. The prices were too high to buy, but then they were too low to sell. I'm in that scenario with the Altima, and I had to physically or literally block him on Facebook and sell by text because he was like an insane person. The amount of texts and phone calls I was getting was just crazy. So that sucks. I'm a bad guy already in this business. So that's what happens. That'll probably be my next video because the story sucks. So our $400 Jaguar is done. Now I did take this wheel to a used tire shop, and we got a used tire to match. So I have a Continental on the front now, and the brand new spare is back in the trunk. Nacho cleaned the trunk out. It was disgusting. The entire car was really disgusting, and I give that guy credit to how this car looks now. It is actually like a fairly presentable car now. Every door opens, the windows open and close, the AC is cold. Look at how nice the interior came out now. The body lines are pretty good. Again, the trunk, he said, was like a sewer inside. We did end up replacing the battery. Nacho, we did a battery? Oh, and a power steering pump, I think. He replaced a water pump and a battery on this car. Now, there is still some front end components that just kind of are noisy, like they sound like they're sway bar links or ball joints, or something is loose in the front. Now, at 180,000 miles, at what point do you stop throwing money at a car? I'm a water pump in, I'm a battery in. I own it for under $1,000. I could sell it after Nacho's labor. I probably own it for $1,500. If I sell it for $2,000, I'll make $500. Is that really worth my time? If I sell it for $2,500, I make $1,000. But the more I put in, the more I have to ask to sell it. Maybe someone will say, I love it, I'll take it. Maybe someone will discount it for repairs that it still needs. Or maybe someone will say, I'll take it for your asking price if you fix X, Y, Z. Now the AC is cold, which is a really big deal because you can see I'm sweating. It is 100 degrees in Florida today. But look at how nice this car came out. I'm gonna snap some photos of it. I'm gonna throw it up online. The original books are in there. The AC is cold, and it is now officially reliable transportation. I mean, you can't ask for much in this price range. A Jaguar that's clean, someone on a budget that wants to ball will buy it. So that's one of our videos. That's one of our cars. That's not stuff I want to sell. That was more like, I know you guys love the cheap car videos, and that's how I ended up buying that thing, was to make a cheap car video, but now I'm stuck with the 2002 Jaguar that I have to sell. I have to recalibrate what I want in my inventory. I can't just make things for videos because people like to see cheap car auctions. I have to buy what I like and buy what sells, not this garbage. I am selling 180,000 mile Jaguars, and that isn't how I want this business to be run, established, or my name on. So I'm gonna start recalibrating into a different type of inventory. It was fun to buy a cheap car, but selling it is an absolute headache. I'm not even gonna make that much money on something like this. So, I don't know, to be continued. So the problem with selling these cheap POS cars is, number one, that sound. So anybody driving it, they are going to be on a budget. In this price range, they're on a budget. This is every dime they have. They're going to want a $5,000 car for the price of $2,500. And I have to collect sales tax. I have to go register it for them. I have to collect their plate fees. A plate fee is $400. Sales tax is gonna be $100 to $200. I'm gonna collect $600 on a $2,500 car, and I am going to do all the running around for the state. I'm gonna do all the state's legwork of registration, collecting title and tax, and do the tag and all that garbage for someone else to make money. The state will make more money than I will on this car, and the customer that buys this car is going to be a pain in the butt. But here I am with this car. I gotta do something with it, so I might as well sell it and cash out rather than hanging on to it. I don't want to buy any more of this garbage though. So today we're working on a few cars, and when the Honda Element was here and we sold it, we took this Sienna in trade, and it has been starting 100% of the time until today. It actually runs great, 250,000 miles. This is my favorite car I own. It has never given me a problem until today. Now, when you turn the key, nothing happens. So the starter's right here. We removed the air box, the intake hose. I just want you to go inside and turn the ignition on. I'm gonna put this screwdriver right up to the starter. Typically you can hear it click, but I couldn't hear any clicking. So I'm putting the screwdriver up to my ear, and I can hear the starter actually clicking now. So if I get the camera close enough, go ahead, try again. If you can hear that, that's the starter clicking. So I couldn't hear that when everything was put together. Now the starter's right here. The solenoid is right above it, the starter solenoid. And sometimes you can jump the starter solenoid if you just cross it with, see this has metal on it? Be careful not to do this when you cross it, but sometimes you can cross the starter solenoid and bypass the relay and get power and jump your car. Test it that way, nothing was happening. Now again, that is an electrical current. So if I put my hand on here and that electrical current goes through the screwdriver, it's gonna shock my hand, so be careful. This screwdriver doesn't have that. Now, the reason this screwdriver has a metal cap on it, or metal tip, I'm gonna put it on the starter. I'm gonna take my ball peen hammer right here, tap the starter a couple times. Now if I did this to my plastic screwdriver, the plastic screwdriver would break. I do it to the screwdriver with the metal tip, it's not gonna break. Maybe the starter's stuck or frozen on the inside. You could get lucky sometimes by tapping the starter and freeing it up. Let's see what happens. Clicked more, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a lot more
It's
louder.
definitely louder, so we'll try it again. I tapped it a couple more times. It's definitely louder though, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go with it needing a starter because we definitely have power. I can hear it clicking.
A few hours later.
So the starter is done on the Sienna. Nacho already did that. You actually also did a starter on a Pathfinder. So that $2,000 Pathfinder we bought, how much time did the Sienna take you?
The Sienna took me around 2 to 3 hours.
It was fairly simple to get to,
Yes.
removing, and now it works, right?
Yes.
All good. But the Pathfinder needed a starter as well. You replaced the Pathfinder, and that one we had a heck of a time finding. It said it was near the transmission. It was not, because just like the Toyota Tundras, the V8s and the Tundras, Nissan had a similar design. Where was the starter on the Pathfinder?
It was underneath the intake manifold.
Yeah, a whole manifold that come off, then replace the gaskets, everything. Did that one take longer than the Sienna?
Yes, it took 4 to 5 hours.
Thank you for doing it.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, the starter in the Sienna has been replaced. Nacho took care of it actually pretty quickly. Nacho has just been crushing it for me lately. And a lot of you said make sure Nacho is taken care of. Nacho's taken care of. I really appreciate him very much. He does great here, and he started from very little, and now he basically, he's awesome. I really appreciate everything. And I think he understands how I appreciate him, and he gets paid accordingly too. So mind your business. He's fine. Nacho's fine. Also, I haven't introduced you to Haley yet. Haley takes care of everything behind the scenes and keeps me organized. And God, it has been a just stress off my shoulders. So the starter in the Sienna is done. I think I mentioned he had already replaced the rope that was doing this door handle, and Haley has just been responding to all my customers because I don't have the patience for people. I get too personally attached to every car, and she doesn't. She just wants to sell things, so she follows up with people, she reaches out to people. She's so much more organized than I am, and I've said this in the past, I want to hire people that are better than me. So like I can hire people that I can train and teach how I do things, but I also would rather see how someone else does things. So we're gonna leave the Sienna in my overflow lot until it's sold. It's done, it's photographed, it's listed up for sale. Lock it up. Even the remote works. So the Jaguar is finished. It's sitting in my trailer because I had mentioned before, we don't have a lot of, oh nice, I have lights in here. I love this durable trailer. I don't have a lot of space. So this Jaguar is sitting in storage now inside my trailer, tying up trailer space, waiting for the right buyer. It's under $2,000. I bought it for $600. Nacho did a water pump, we did a coolant flush. I did the tire that was blown out, and he detailed the heck out of it. It is perfect. It is a cheap Jaguar, but the problem that's happening so far with the buyers is they want a really nice Jaguar. And I think I'm asking like $1,800 for it. So I still have it because the people that want it want more than what it is, which is just, this car is a lot of work because the buyers are a lot of work. So you'll notice the black Dodge Dakota is gone. We sold it in a day for a profit of $1,185. Now that does not include all the labor Nacho put into it. So we really didn't make that much money, but it made a video, it kept Nacho busy, which is great. And it just kind of, we made a little bit, it paid some bills. Now the 2004 Nissan Altima is a different story. That was my favorite car. I liked it so much that I actually wanted to give it to Logan as his first car. He wanted his Wrangler instead. I drove it from here 2 hours to Okeechobee around the lake and back. It was a great car, and I sold it that way. However, the people that wanted it, it's got to be a different video because it was insane. The texts, the phone calls, the threats, wild, because they wanted a brand new Altima and it wasn't a brand new Altima. So they drove it, and a few days later, it wasn't what they thought it was. They were disappointed, and it just, it's crazy. And that's why I hate selling cheap cars. I forgot. And honestly, I haven't sold another car since that one. That was like 3 weeks ago. I haven't even tried. I'm so like PTSD from that situation that I'm like, forget it. I forgot I hate this job. It's stressful. I don't even want to deal with it. And I haven't even sold another thing since. We have the Sienna now. Nacho did a starter, he did a door handle, we did a battery, and a full detail. This thing came out really, really nice. The Altima also came out really, really nice. We ended up doing a CV axle, a power steering line, a battery, and cleaned it up, and it came out amazing. And then I did a video on the Hyundai Accent, which you've seen, and the Pathfinder, and Logan's Honda Civic Flip, which you've seen as well. So in this video, we made a total of just under $2,400 profit between two cars, which isn't great. That's basically cost. I have to make at least $1,000 a car to cover payroll and cover parts and expenses and overhead, rent, insurance, all that stuff. $1,000 is like a bare minimum to break even. So to make $1,185 times 2, $1,200, that's $2,400. So it's like $2,350, $2,375, $2,380 between two cars isn't great. But now we have a Jaguar that I might double my money on. So an $800 investment, we should be able to sell it for $1,600. The Sienna's under $2,000, which is nice. The Altima we own for short money, so we should be able to make at least $1,000 to $1,500 on that one. And this 2022 Yukon with almost 500,000 miles and a shotgun hole to this door has its own story, which we'll do at another point. I tried to keep the pace in this video moving. I know there were a lot of jumps back and forth. I know there were a lot of cars in one video. I'm curious to know if you liked it that way or if you didn't. I tried to put as much into one video as I possibly could. Tell me in the comments what you thought. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all later. Adios.